Hi there. In this video, we'll talk about how to get the ADIY Fly basic board working on Arduino IDE. Well, I just did a unboxing and a quick review video on this board, which I just bought 2 days ago. I think it was on October 25th, 2023, just 2 days before making this video. I did unboxing on this video, unboxing on this board, and try to explore this board and try to get MicroPython working on this board. And I got a couple of views, and I found many people found the video exciting. In fact, they found this board exciting rather, just like me, just like I did. And I got one comment just today, this on October 27th, by Tarun. By Tarun Burman. Thanks, Arun, for tuning in. And the comment was, can I use Arduino IDE software to program on it? Yeah, I thought, okay, can we really do that? I thought, let's give it a shot. So anyway, that's a video for you, Tarun, by the way, and it might help others too. So we'll try to install Arduino Sketch onto this board and try to get this working, right? By the way, if you're using the official Raspberry Pi Pico, it's the same process. I also have an official Raspberry Pi Pico right here, and it's all the same. It's just a clone, right? This board is a clone of the official Raspberry Pi Pico. The only noticeable difference is that you have an extra button in here, a reset button, right? I think on top, which is lacking on the official board. Apart from that, it's all the same. So in order to get this to work, I did refresh my Arduino IDE. I just got the latest update just now. It's been a while since I've been using Arduino. I'm not an expert Arduino programmer. I do a lot of C++ and C on desktop, but on my PC, on my computer, mostly writing system programs. But when it comes to Arduino Sketch, I think I would write very basic programs. I think the only thing I would have done is Blink program and maybe a few programs that to create a digital clock using TM1637 module and a DHT11 sensor. So that's what my knowledge level is. So I'm not an expert. I work mostly on MicroPython. I found that more convenient. Anyways, so let's see if this works. If you were able to get the Arduino Sketch working on this, even if a Blink program, I think you should be able to try out other features too, right? I just fired up the latest version of Arduino. In fact, the interface looked a little refreshing to me because I was using Arduino 1.8 earlier, and the UI has all these sidebars now. I'm running on Linux, by the way. So if you're using Windows or macOS, your interface might look a little different. And by the way, I'm using a dark theme for my background. So I like a dark theme. So your default Arduino might have a white color background. So you can change it if you really like a dark theme like I do. The first thing you need to do is get the board manager. Go to board manager. I think there's a link here. So this tab opens up the board manager now. The older versions of Arduino, I think you can go to the tools and go to board and select boards manager to get the same UI, right? I think if you just go even here, in the modern version of Arduino, it comes up on the sidebar. So in here, in Boards Manager, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try typing Pico. And yes, I see Arduino Mbed OS RP2040 boards by Arduino. I think there's an official support for RP2040 chipset by Arduino team. And boards include in this package Raspberry Pi Pico. All right, let's give it a shot. Let's try and install and see if we can get this to work. All right. This is going to take some time because it's going to download a couple of packages. Looks like it could look like a fat download because it's downloading the entire tool chain for GCC or ARM-based board. That's the processor, ARM-based processor that's running on this board. Right. Let's wait. All right, so looks like it's downloaded. There's only a couple of other tools. And it's installing. I guess you know the Arduino RP2040 is got an ARM Cortex processor. So normally you can actually develop code even in C++ using the Pico SDK. There's a Pico SDK if you go to the Raspberry Pi Pico's website, by which you can develop low-level C++ program on this particular board. Looks like this particular board manager is installing all those packages and layering on top, providing a easy to install interface. All right, so it says please run as root, platform installed. Okay, configuring the tool. So it says something like please run as root. I am not sure, but let's anyway give it a shot. I'm logged in as normal user. I'm running on Ubuntu Linux. So you could do the same thing as Windows user or a Mac OS user. So once it's installed, we can just go ahead and select tools on the board. You can now see Arduino Mbed OS RP2040 boards, and you can see RaspberryPi Pico here. So we can just select this board. And yeah, it's indexing some stuff. Looks like it. I think it's a background operation. Anyways, it says RaspberryPi Pico not connected. We can try to connect this board. I guess if you want to connect the RaspberryPi Pico on to the Arduino IDE, you need to first hold the boot cell key, right? You can see the boot cell key that's there here. By the way, there are two buttons on the ADIY Fly basic board, the RP2040 basic board, but one of them is a reset button that you see on top, and the bottom one is the boot cell key. If you're using your official RaspberryPi Pico, I guess there's just one button to worry about. Just have to hold this button. So this button, holding this boot cell key, boot cell button, and plugging in your micro USB, will put this board in file manager mode or file system mode, which means that it'll show up like a flash storage, which lets you upload ROM images that you want to run, right? We're going to do that. So let's try to connect this. I'm holding this button and I'm making connection in here. Yeah, I think the board is detected. You can see a beep just came up on my desktop. Oh, it got disconnected. Oh, there's a loose contact on this. I need to check it out. Just one moment, please. Okay, let's just leave this. And now I can try going to the file, but it still shows it's not connected. Let me just check again. Tools. If you look at port, it shows something like TTY S4. I am not sure if this would work. Let's try. Oh, it says RaspberryPi Pico and /dev TTY S4. Seems like it's connected. All right, so let's go ahead and try an example program. You can go to the files, examples, and you can select the basics, Blink program as usual. And you can see it's selected RaspberryPi Pico in the status bar. It shows up as TTY S4. This looks a little peculiar to me because this looks like a native serial port, which is non-existent on my laptop. I am not sure if this is going to work. Let's try. So I'm just going to click on the upload button here. This should build and upload, obviously. Whoops. Failed, right? You can see that it says fail uploading, uploading error, exit status, so and so. I guess if you try this on Windows, maybe it might work, but I am on a Linux system. Maybe it requires some extra permissions, root user, it might run as root. So there are other things that it's done. So it may not be well tested on a Linux system, perhaps. I'm not sure about the Mac. I never tried on a Mac system, but it failed. I will not give up on this because there is another package which I got it to work long time ago. And that is back in 2022, last year, I guess. So last year, I guess. This package was called under package name called Arduino Pico. It requires a little bit of work, so it's pretty straightforward. You just need to install, add a new URL in the boards manager, and you should get it to work. It is not an official package from Arduino, but I remember getting it to work a year back. So let's see if that works in the latest version of the Arduino IDE, which I'm going to try now. That involves going to this website, which is either you can go to the github.com, Earl Pilhover Arduino Pico. This particular project um, is still maintained. You can see there's updates happening 3 days ago. I'm checking it on October 27th. So yeah, this seems to be well updated. Looks like there's a community-oriented project support for supporting Arduino IDE with your Raspberry Pi Pico board. Let's try with this one. And yeah, if at all you want to get more details by looking up the documentation, you can also head on to arduinopico.readthedocs.io. I'm going to be sharing both of these links in the video description. You can just click on those links to reach out to this website. In fact, if you go to the arduinopico.readthedocs.io, there's a detailed documentation on how to get started. Talks about everything supported on this Arduino. Yeah, there are a lot of details, so worth reading. And the installation here talks about installing via Arduino Boards Manager. When you click on this link, I think it shows the step-by-step process. Yeah, they're showing it on Ubuntu, so I'm sure it has to work on Linux. I'm sure it'll also work on Windows or macOS if you did try it. This involves, first of all, copying this link. I'm just going to copy this link, and you can just go to your Arduino. I'll just move this aside. You can go to your Arduino IDE. Let me just minimize this for now. Go to Arduino files, and you can go to preferences. Yeah, if you're using a macOS, you might want to go to the top menu bar. That's where you'll see the files, or maybe it's called Arduino. So you can just click on that. Head on to the preferences tab. I guess you know the deal. So go to the preferences, and under preferences, you have all these settings in here, and you have something called additional board manager URLs. I'm going to paste. Is it a paste here? I'm not sure. I'm just going to paste it right here. Yeah. And click on OK. And now, if you head out to Tools, you can go to Board Manager. Oh, where is the Board Manager? Yeah, Boards Manager. And under Boards Manager, yeah, you can also click on this link to get to the Board Manager. It's more short. It's more easier to do that. And now I'm going to type Pico. And this time, apart from the Arduino Mbed OS, which didn't work, you'll also find Raspberry Pi Pico RP2040 by Earl Vilhover. This seems to support a lot of boards. We can try clicking on install on this. But this does take some time. The process is similar. Even this would download the Pico SDK toolchain and layer it with the Arduino Sketch interface and put all the and integrate all the libraries. You can see that it does take a minute or two to get things working. Yeah, I see a lot of Python packages getting downloaded. All right. Yeah, this takes a minute or two, right? So I guess I should fast forward this part of the video, but yeah, I'm just going to leave it real time so you know how much time it really takes to get things to work. I remember trying this particular project sometime last year, I think March last year, and I was able to just write a Blink program and see if it worked, and yeah, I did. So I guess this is still stable and should work. All right, it's installing. A few seconds more. And it seems to have done its installation. So now what you can do is you can, okay, let me close this tab, sidebar, sorry, and click on Tools. And under Tools, when you actually select Board, now you have an option called Raspberry Pi Pico 2040. Other than the Arduino Mbed, which didn't work, you can try the one below, Raspberry Pi Pico RP2040. And you have a whole lot of boards supported by this. Looks like there's so many different board manufacturers making variations of the Raspberry Pi Pico. Let me see if I see ADIY here. Not yet. It's a clone of the official Raspberry Pi Pico, nothing different. So I don't think this will anyway show up in here. So I don't think you will see that name anyways. It's in your board, which I'm seeing. Anyways, You can just select the official Raspberry Pi Pico. Yeah, by the way, if you have a Pico W, you can select the Pico W, which means you can have access to Wi-Fi features, right? You can connect to Wi-Fi networks and program them also on Arduino IDE. So I will go ahead and select Raspberry Pi Pico because that's what this particular board supports. It does not have a Wi-Fi chip on this, right? So I'm going to select that. And yeah, it's doing some indexing. And let's wait for it to settle. It's done. Let me try to upload it. Same deal. You might need to hold the boot cell key. Yeah, hold the boot cell key on this. Hold the boot cell button and plug the micro USB port onto it. Yeah, and if you open up your file manager, normally you should be able to see a drive called RPi-RP2. That shows that the board is in the FS mode, file system mode. And at this moment, I'm just going to try and upload this sketch and test it out. This sketch basically tries to turn on the built-in LED. Just try to blink the built-in LED. There's a built-in LED on board on the Raspberry Pi Pico, and this particular program will try to make that work. Let's try that. Let's click on upload. Yes, I guess it's working. You can see that. Oh, it's interesting because I see a red LED blinking on this board because I have the official Raspberry Pi Pico which has a green LED. Yeah, the color is different, but yeah, it still works. You can see as a confirmation that this particular board really works, right? Again, I'll just show it closer to the camera. You can see that, right? So yes, this is how you get your Arduino sketch working on a Raspberry Pi Pico, right? Hope you found this video useful. So if you have any questions or doubts or any comments, feel free to connect to me and post your comments. I really appreciate it if many of you are liking this video. Yeah, hope to make more videos on this line. So stay tuned for more. I will be focusing more on MicroPython. So as I told you, I'm not a guru in Arduino sketch as such. So I'm exploring on my own. So I would prefer using MicroPython. So the next videos I'll be continuing back with using MicroPython on these boards. Yeah. Thank you very much. So stay tuned for future videos.